Alright, it's me, Prime Shinobi, with a new kind of video today. And in this video, I wanted to do a manga review on One Piece Chapter 999 because I am caught up to the manga and I thought it would be something new and something cool to do other than just playing games. But I was thinking about doing this for a while on One Piece, like specifically One Piece because I love the series, but and so I suddenly decided to do it, and I was like, you know what? Chapter 1000 is literally about to come out, so I might as well do it before chapter 1000. But anyway, we're not here to talk about why I decided to do this, so let's just get into chapter 999. Alright, so the chapter starts out with Ace, with a flashback of Ace and meeting Yamato and Wano, which is what I predicted because the way 998 was structured and the final page, in the last little square box, is like a transition of flashback, and like I predicted, it was a chapter 999 started out with a flashback, and it's like so Ace is on Onigashima, and Kaido is not there. Neither are the Tobiropo or his three calamities, and Ace and Yamato, when they see each other, they're like, "Who are you? Explain yourself." And Yamato is like, "No, you first." And then Ace explains himself. He's like, "I'm Ace. Come here to take Kaido's head." And Yamato's like, my father is in here." And Ace is like, "Wait, that's your father?" And then the whole crew of Ace is like, "Whoa, that's Kaido's daughter? Just no way." So they're all like all in shock. And Yamato talks about how much she hates her dad being Kaido, and how she has no obligation to protect Onigashima when he's not there. So Ace's crew is like, "Oh, we should head out because we're lucky that Kaido isn't here to fight back or any of his calamities." And so they apparently Kaido takes kids from Wano and maybe trains them into his soldiers in Onigashima, but they get the kids and they return them to the family. So Ace's crew is willing to go back to the ship and get the hell out of Wano. And Ace is wondering why someone like as strong as Yamato isn't the captain. They clash again, and you start to see like the development of a friendship between Ace and Yamato. And when Ace tells Yamato, "You can't choose your father. Uh, Forget about the cuffs. Why do you let him chain your heart?" And she's like, "What?" She's like, "What are you talking about?" And he's talking about how she's kind of like in the position where Ace was before he set out to sea, like about Roger, how he's Roger's son, and he felt like chained up and he couldn't do anything for herself. She tells Ace her dream of leaving Wano and living as free as Kozuki Oden, her idol, basically. And Ace is encouraging her to leave, to follow her dreams. And after that, they become friends over their similarities of who their parents are, and they start like drinking sake. And Yamato is telling Ace, like, "If I ever get these chains off, I'm going to sea without a doubt." And she begins to ask Ace, like, "What's the sea like? I really want to go so bad. Like, what's it like outside?" And she's asking if there's a lot of people making names for themselves. And Ace mentions Cavendish. So he's like, "Wait, there's a Caven something?" And this just goes to how good the world building is of this series. And he's talking about like the other members of the worst generation. And he says that he hears a lot of young guys making big waves in the new world. For example, Kid in the South, Law in the North, and Beige in the West. All from their respective blues. And Ace then tells Yamato that those guys are cool and all, but the real one who's gonna make a shock in the new world is his little brother, which is referencing Luffy. And this is great foreshadowing by Oda, how a couple years later, Luffy, he's gonna basically, we know he's gonna free up Wano, and he's gonna, like, carry on the will of Ace in Wano, and pick up where Ace left off, with Otama, like I just said, Wano and everything. And we go back to the present, and she's explaining to Momonosuke of how Ace basically destroyed the dragon at the entrance to warn Kaido for when he comes back. So he says, when I come back, I'm gonna beat Kaido. That's that. And we also find out that Kaido never saw Ace in person, because obviously Kaido wasn't there. And then after that, Yamato is explaining to Momonosuke that Kaido is her father. And Momonosuke is in shock. But then Yamamoto, she's like, oh, wait, I'm Kozuki Oden. I'm on your side. I hate my dad. And then Momonosuke's like, alright, I guess. That's better than supporting Kaido. Then we cut to Otama next to Nami on the Komachio dog thing. And Nami is explaining to Tama how Ace's death affected Luffy and what Ace was to Luffy. We cut to the battlefield after this, and it shows Marco, he's like putting in work, and then he tells Robin and Brooke to run into the castle, because I guess he's not going to take them to the roof. And we get this epic panel of Marco holding Zoro, and the Queen is like, he's carrying one of the Straw Hats, what's going on? And after this, Marco gets a flashback to back when the Whitebeard pirates were aligned, and it answered one of my questions, which was why Ace never went back to Wano with the Whitebeard pirates. And basically the whole premise of the flashback is Ace is telling Whitebeard, we have to go to Wano. I made a promise to some friends. And he made a promise. And Whitebeard, he's kind of ticked off by this. He's like, no, Ace, don't be so conceited. If a man like Kozuki Oden could not take down Kaido, what makes you think you can? Then Izo and Marco, they tell Ace, yo, if Pops ever gives you the green light, let us know, because we would love to go to Wano to help Ace. And we see Marco flying through with a tear going down his eye because he misses Ace and Whitebeard, and he feels that he's essentially continuing Ace's dream to open Wano, and he gets to be a part of it. After this, we see Queen and King both in their devil fruit forms, and it looks to me like King is gonna end up fighting Zoro and Marco like in the sky, because Marco has a flying zone type, and so does King. So, and Marco tells King, you're going up against a new generation. And after this, Tama finds out that Luffy is Ace's brother, and there's like a little panel of her with her jaw dropped to the ground, and she's like, Luffy's Ace's brother? She's like, then I touched a really sore spot for him. Like, she feels bad for what she said. And supposedly, Otama has a plan. I don't know what that means. And at the same time, as Nami is telling Otama about how Ace is Luffy's brother, Yamato is telling Momonosuke that Ace was Roger's son and Luffy's brother. And now he's in shock as well, because he did not know that. Which makes Yamato see Momonosuke bringing Luffy as an act of fate. And she mentions that Luffy is special because he has the initial D in his name, and we all know the will of D is a very big thing. And we finally get to see Big Mom and Kaido on the top of the roof, just talking, and Big Mom essentially tells Kaido, you can kill anyone, just leave Nico Robin alive. Which is obvious because Nico Robin is the survivor of Ohara who could read the poneglyphs. Then Kaido tells Big Mom, don't you have a 3 eyes that can read the poneglyphs? And Big Mom is like, oh, you mean pudding? I'm waiting for her to awaken her three-eyed ability so she can read the poneglyphs. Supposedly, Kaido is planning not just to move Onigashima, because Onigashima is in the air right now, but not only does he want to just like move it on top of the flower capital, he wants to move it directly over Kozuki Castle, essentially stomping over everything of the Kozuki legacy, which is kind of messed up, but he's Kaido, so you know he's gonna do that. Big Mom curiously asks about the road poneglyph, and Kaido sees this as Big Mom sorta like suggesting that she could betray him, possibly. And Big Mom says to Kaido that he's like a little brother to her. And we know how Big Mom is. She betrayed the Germa, how she acts with her kids. Big Mom saying that doesn't really mean much to her. I guarantee she's gonna try to betray Kaido at some point during the Wano arc. And the biggest reveal of the chapter is when Big Mom and Kaido are talking about rocks. And Big Mom says, I quote, "I gave you that legendary model of the fish fruit." The fish fruit. Kaido is a fish. Not the dragon fruit. He's a fish. That's probably the biggest revelation of the chapter that I wasn't expecting. Who expected that Kaido is a fish out of all animals? I've heard of duck, and a lot of, dragon is the obvious one because he looks like a dragon. But now that I look at it, Kaido, he has like these fish features. Like he has scales when he's in his Zoan form. And Kaido, if Kaido only got the fish fruit, his Zoan fruit, after the event at God Valley, that means that he was fighting on Rock's side the whole time, like without a devil fruit up until God Valley. So when we do get a God Valley Rocks flashback, I'm looking forward to seeing that. But overall, I found this chapter to be really entertaining. It was definitely the kind of chapters you would expect, like such a big chapter. The last chapter of the year 2020, and the chapter before 1000. Personally, I predicted that Act 3 was going to end at the end of this chapter, and Luffy was going to make it to the roof. We didn't see Luffy at all during this whole chapter, but Luffy was going to make it to the roof of Onigashima and beat Kaido and Big Mom. And the Scabbards, or the Akazaya 9, they're probably going to be like dead or knocked out. Now I'm going to assume they're knocked out because Kaido and Big Mom, they're chilling. They're just sitting there enjoying the view while talking. But that's how I thought that the chapter 999 was going to end, and 1000 was going to be a Reverie. Well, not Reverie, but like out of Wano catch-up chapter. But nevertheless, this was a great chapter. Next chapter hits January 3rd, chapter 1000. I'm hype. And make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I don't know if this is going to be a weekly thing. I just wanted to try it out. Something different. But see you in the next one. Peace.